Deadlift World Championship. The athletes have been announced. I am looking forward to this one. It's the closest competition to our home. Let's find out who's in. Okay, Auntie Liz, you can tell I'm excited for this one. And the reason I'm so excited is it's a great lineup and we're going to see some of the best deadlifters go head to head in a competition. And I like competition. I like seeing the best athletes on the same bar, same equipment, under the same rules, all lifting on the same day. Tell us when that day is.
What my very excited husband is referring to is, of course, the Deadlift World Championships, which are returning to the Giants Live World Open, but with a new venue. This time they are going to be in Cardiff at the Motorpoint Arena on the 6th of August.
Yeah, first time ever in Cardiff for Giants Live. It's going to be absolutely incredible. It's about an hour from my house. Really nice for us, and we will definitely be there. I am pumped. I've just been arm wrestling. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, you sound manic, to be honest, babe.
Still too much pre-workout, but I will calm myself down to introduce the athletes to you. But this is going to be a really good event. I'm quite excited for it. And one thing I want to get clear first, because I've seen a lot of comments online about who should be invited, and there's a lot of athletes that they're deadlifting 400 kilos and they're thinking they deserve an invite to this competition. Giants Live are looking for someone that could potentially break the record or is, you know, a legitimate shot at pulling over 1,000 pounds. To see 7 athletes, I think last year, pull 1,000 pounds was incredible. I think we got to go back. I think it was 2013. I'd need to check the archives, but there was a competition I did where almost every athlete pulled 400 kilos. We should have had all the athletes pull 400 kilos. One of the guys unfortunately got injured. And that at the time was absolutely amazing. Now we're getting to the point where we may one day see a whole lineup of athletes pull 1,000 pounds. 7 we saw last year up in Manchester. Can we see 8 or 9 do it this year? I think we can.
I think so. Looking at this lineup, I think it's possible. So the Deadlift World Championships is the first event of the overall Giants Live competition. Now, they haven't differentiated with this lineup to say if people are doing just guest lifting or if they're doing the whole competition. My guess, though, looking at this list, maybe one guest lifter that I can see, because last year we had just one. It was Nedsman and Beskovic. Because even with the deadlift specialists that we had come in, even Makarov and Pavlo Nickonechny, they still did the whole show. We're not 100% sure this could be for the entire show, but we do just want to talk about the deadlift because you're very excited about deadlifting right now, aren't you?
I don't know why. Maybe it's because I did that deadlift session the other day. But I'm feeling good for the deadlift right now.
So, athlete number 1 then. We have the local boy from Wales, Gav Bilton. Now, Gav is a great deadlifter. He pulled 425 kilos at last year's World Deadlift Championships. That was good enough for joint last place last year.
Yeah, which is incredible. So, I mean, it shows the standard we're talking about. And this is why I mention, you know, Giants Live don't want a 400 kilo deadlifter.
No.
And Gav has proven himself. He's a 2-time UK strongest man.
And he's the local boy as well.
And exactly that. Yeah. He is the number 1 Welsh athlete currently. Obviously, you've got to have Gav Bilton competing in Cardiff.
Athlete number 2, someone who we know has been training for a massive deadlift, Britain's Adam Bishop. Now, Adam has always been a great deadlifter, particularly for reps, but he's like adamant that he wants to be the guy to do 505. He's been experimenting with deadlift suits. He's getting big. He used to be an under 105 athlete. Do you remember?
He outweighs me by a good amount now.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy to think I remember watching him in his under 105 days. But he was always a good deadlifter, and he's proven time and time again, once another athlete that's just over a long period of time, he's shown why he's such a good deadlifter, especially for reps. But he's no slouch when it comes to a max lift. Pulled 1,000 pounds last year. I think he was good for more than that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you say, he wants to focus on the deadlift. Obviously, right now, the athletes are focusing on worlds, but I think once that's done, his switch will be just focusing on a big deadlift.
The next athlete then is someone I am so excited to see. Is Asco Carro, who was supposed to compete at this competition last year. He suffered a back injury. Now, Asco has pulled 480 something in the gym. he gets some criticism, like you said about
rightly so. And this is,
rightly so.
No, Asco, I've been so excited to see him compete.
Yeah.
Last year I was so disappointed when he got injured. Now, we can't do anything about injuries, but he needs to come and he needs to back up now what he's kind of shown he's done in the gym.
Because accusations have been made, haven't they? Like, they think it's fake weights or...
We're in a generation now where it is easy to fake stuff.
Of course, yeah.
There's so much stuff on the internet. I question things a lot of the time, and it's why I like to see everyone come together on the same day, on the same bar, all using the same equipment. There's no hiding then.
Yeah.
And that's why I tend to be one of those guys that looks at competition results rather than gym lifts to kind of gauge my thoughts on how I think someone could do. Now, I've been excited to see Asco for a while. Seems like an absolutely great guy. We've had a good laugh with him, chatting to him and stuff. And I really want to see him come over and show what he can do, because if he can back it up, he is a legitimate contender for this title.
Next then is last year's winner of the Deadlift World Championships, the only man to pull 475 in that competition, Ivan Makarov. Now, he went for the 505. It wasn't there. This is a man who, since 2019, I think, he's been quite hell-bent on taking this record. He's got it to his knees almost a couple of times.
He's an amazing deadlifter. He's pulled a lot of huge weights, and he's had probably more attempts at this weight now than anyone else. He is hell-bent, like you say, on breaking this record, and he's coming back for another attempt. He was the winner last year of the Deadlift Championships. Can he do better? Can he actually pull the world record? I'm excited to see what he can do.
Next then, returning to Giants Live, Pavlo Nickonechny is back at the Deadlift World Championships. We didn't know if he would be. Personally, I'm looking forward to seeing him do this. He was incredible in the competition last year. He pulled, was it 455, I believe, was the jump before 475. He opted out of 475, went straight for 505, didn't get it.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll approach it slightly differently. But he also did the overall show, and he came fourth in an incredible lineup. So he was really something to see. We all know that there were issues, and that's why we weren't sure if he was going to be able to come back or not. I just really hope this time, everyone is nice.
I always think people deserve second chances, and last time he made some silly mistakes in terms of the way he
behaved.
Yeah, backstage, he really wasn't. What's the best way of putting this?
Sportsmanlike.
Yeah, there was a number of situations. Now, he's a young athlete, and that is no excuse, but we can all learn from our mistakes. So this is his opportunity now to come show he's learned from that. He wants to be recognised as a great athlete. He's clearly unbelievably strong.
Talented.
There's no doubting that at all. Show that you made a silly mistake and you're focused now on breaking this record. The guys backstage at Giants Live are unbelievable. I mean, we've been lucky enough to go to many Giants Live shows now. A lot of these people are giving up their time for free. So, as an athlete, treat them right. Okay, treat them like the decent people that they are. And that's why I got upset with Pavlo. There were situations backstage. It's nothing to do with his ability as an athlete. He's an incredible athlete, unbelievable deadlifter. So learn from those mistakes. Come in this time, be a gentleman, smash the competition, and I wish you the best on the record. I mean, he's one of the few guys that could be a contender for 500 plus.
Another man returning after last year's Deadlift World Championships is Gabriel Pena, who also joined the 1,000 pound club at this competition.
Yeah, Gabe's another great deadlifter. 1,000 pounds, 7 guys pulling 1,000 pounds. It's just mental.
Unprecedented.
Can Gabe do 1,000 again? Can he go beyond 1,000? It's going to be interesting to see what the jumps are. I don't see him challenging for the win overall.
No.
But definitely another guy that's capable of going over 1,000.
Next up, your friend and mine, Aranohaina, is coming to Cardiff for the Deadlift World Championships. This was one competition at the beginning of the year that he said he really, really wanted. Then he saw the Europe's lineup and he's like, why aren't I in that? I was like, you want the deadlift. They're doing different lineups this year and you really need to be in that deadlift. And Rauno has an amazing track record on the deadlift. He won the championships in 2019. Unfortunately, was it joint with Jerry Pritchett, I believe?
Yes, yeah.
Unfortunately, he picked up an injury on that last lift and wasn't able to do the full competition. But usually, Rauno finishes no matter what. Last year, unfortunately, was an underperformance for him. He came in with a torn hamstring or quad.
He's been a bit injury prone the last year or so.
Yeah, but he still did it. He still
finished the comp. Obviously, he's pulled out of World's Strongest Man. And we hope now he's focused and he's smart with his training.
Yes,
because Rauno's history on deadlifts, if you look at his competition history when it comes to the deadlift, he is unbelievable. He's also, he's the 400 kilo for reps record holder.
Yeah.
He's one of these weird lifters that can pull the same weight with a standard deadlift stance or a sumo stance.
Yeah.
He's pulled around 480, I believe, in both.
Yeah, so in training he's done 480 something, yeah.
It's just crazy. Most people are built better for one or the other.
Yeah.
He's sort of in that middle ground where he can just do them both. Obviously, he'd be going normal, conventional deadlifts for the Deadlift World Championships. And if he peaks, he's a threat to anyone. He's pulled some massive, massive weights. Rauno, please don't do anything stupid. Focus on your training and come in shape. And then we'll have some fun afterwards. We'll take him round to Stonehenge.
Yeah, Rauno's going to stay in England with us for a couple of days afterwards. And we're very, very excited. And I would like to stay in England with the champion.
You stay with me, so you're
I already have a champion, but a second.
We'll have some fun. Take Rauno around and probably record it as well.
We'll definitely record it. Yeah, that's why I'm bringing him over.
Rauno is quality entertainment without realising it. But we love Rauno and we're looking forward to seeing him at the Deadlift World Championships.
Next is another very exciting pick, I think, Mitchell Hooper. So we haven't seen him at any of, the most recognised big international competitions. By the time this rolls around in August, we will have seen him at World's Strongest Man and see what he's got there in the deadlift ladder, at least. I'm very excited. Mitch was the winner of Static Monsters. We know, this guy's a beast.
What he's shown so far, very, very strong guy.
Yes.
Now, I am very excited to see him do World's Strongest Man, and then obviously to meet him and when he comes over to the UK for the Deadlift World Championships, it's going to be awesome. He has lifted some of the biggest deadlifts we've seen out there out of anyone. So if he can come and back it up, do it in competition, he puts himself into, stratospheric areas. He's posted these things online where he's showed overhead numbers, yoke numbers, deadlift numbers, and he's comparing himself to the likes of Thor and Eddie Hall. He messaged me the other day saying his wife says he needs less confidence, not more.
Well, hopefully
which made me laugh.
That showmanship should serve him really well in front of a Giants live audience.
I think he's going to love it, and hopefully he really turns up in great shape. But yeah, from what he's done in training, definitely a contender. As I always say, I like to see it in competition. So if he comes and does it in front of me, I'll be the first person to go and shake his hand and congratulate him. But we are looking forward to seeing Mitch Hooper.
And speaking of showmen, last year's winner of the overall competition and now also a member of the £1,000 Club, Evan Singleton, will be returning to this competition.
Yeah, Evan is always a treat to watch. Someone that just, heart on the sleeve type of guy. He's going to give 100%. He's going to be obnoxious. He's going to get in your face. It's all a facade. He's the loveliest guy behind the scenes.
I'm not supposed to tell people.
I know, but he's like my nephew.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love Evan. I think he's incredible. I love the energy that he brings. Regardless of the showmanship, when it is go time, he's giving 100%.
Yeah.
He switches on. He's an animal. He's intense. We trained with him couple of weeks back and you can feel that intensity when he's training. He is fired up.
He trains like a madman.
He does. And I think, it could be detrimental, it could be great. It's one of those, I was very similar, especially early on.
Yeah.
You're on the edge all the time. And when you're on that edge, you can perform in greatness or you can crash.
Yeah.
And he's that type of athlete. But when he performs and when he's on form, he's a treat to watch. And we're looking forward to seeing him back. Let's remember, a couple of years ago, we classed him as a weak deadlifter.
Yeah.
Now he's pulling 1,000 pounds. Trained with him a few weeks ago. He did 700 pounds for 10 reps. He is looking phenomenally strong. He's got World's Strongest Man to focus on. And then he said he's coming to win every single Giants Live this year.
Next on the list is another man who joined the £1,000 Club last year. 2020's World's Strongest Man, Alexi Novakov. Now, I think no one was more surprised by Alexi's £1,000 last year than him himself. Yeah. And if you could beat Outback, the whole process of Alexi getting ready for a deadlift is just almost painful to watch. Getting him into the suit, his face is just, getting down to the bar, warming up. He looks like he hates every minute of it. But then he goes on the stage and he's like a different person.
He's incredible. You watch him backstage and you think he's going to struggle to pull 380,
anything.
400 kilos.
Yeah.
But suddenly this animal comes out. You know, he's got this ability to dig deep and find the best out of himself.
Yeah.
And yeah, that 1,000-pound pull last year in Manchester was absolutely incredible. He's an amazing athlete. I'm sure he'll be coming to try and win the overall title.
Definitely.
But he'll want to prove he's still up there on the deadlift. Pull over 1,000 pounds. You know, we're talking, everyone we're talking about, we're almost saying they can pull 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
It could be 8, 9, 10 guys in this competition that could go over 1,000 pound mark. That's the standard we're looking at. And it excites me that we're going to see them all competing together.
So the last confirmed athlete for this competition, and I'm almost anxious about saying it because I don't want to jinx it, but it's Mahadapura, who just had to withdraw for World's Strongest Man because of visa issues. We really sincerely hope he doesn't have those issues coming here.
Get him to the UK.
Yes.
He pulled the biggest deadlift last year in competition. Pulled, I think it was 481 kilos. There was questions about the lockout, but he got the down signal. I'm someone that never blames the athlete. I'll blame the referee. He has clearly proved he's a big deadlifter on a number of occasions now in competition and in the gym. He needs this opportunity.
Yeah.
We need to get him over. It's devastating that he's not going to get to go to World's Strongest Man. Let's get him to the Deadlift World Championships. Great to see Giants. I know Giants Live doing everything they can to make sure it happens. So let's keep our fingers crossed that he does get to the UK, gets to Cardiff. We would be over the moon. And he's already posted, him and Mitch Hooper have already been going back and forth online about this. It's quite hilarious. On
You
the Giants.
can't take on Payman and his fans, though.
Payman fans are mental. They support this man. He is
like
on
a demigod.
on a pedestal.
Yeah.
I mean, I competed in World's Strongest Man in 2018 against Payman, and I was getting abuse from his fans.
Yeah, just
it's
for
quite funny
being
because
in the same competition as him.
yeah, I mean, Payman, obviously Iranian, massive Iranian following. I'm half Iranian, and these guys were kind of like tearing into me. It was quite interesting.
You're like, wait, I'm a friend.
I was putting posts up that were nothing to do with Strongman, and they were kind of coming for me. It was, as an athlete, you've got to kind of let this stuff roll off your back, but they support him. He believes he can do this. He really, truly believes he is the best deadlifter in the world. He wants to break the deadlift world record. I am looking forward to seeing this guy compete, as I am with all of them. I think I mentioned at the start, the competition factor is actually what's exciting me more than the record.
It's the depth of talent, isn't it, within this competition?
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see what kind of jumps people make.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in seeing who wins, and then if someone happens to get a world record within that competition, that excites me more. I don't want to see guys just attempting a world record and it not budging.
No.
I'd rather see legitimate good pulls. I'd rather see someone hit PBs.
Yeah.
So maybe like Payman comes in and does 485 and, Nickonechny does 490 or something like that. That would be exciting if they could pick those numbers. I know
they won't
time
be
restraints
able to,
won't allow that, but
they didn't have many jumps last year. Did it open on 400?
400, 425, 455, 475, 505.
It's not many options, is it?
It's not. And if you're going for the record, you don't really want to go for 475 between 455. So I get it, but for me, the competition side of it is what I want to see. Let's see who's the best deadlifter right now. Don't worry about the record. If it goes, it goes.
And we can't forget there is a 12th spot. A wildcard spot. Remember, this is a new thing with Giants Live
have got their wildcards going.
Wildcards, yeah. So an unconfirmed athlete. I've been trying to think, who could it logistically be? It has to be a huge deadlifter. Is it going to be someone who just guest lifts for the deadlift? If so, could we possibly see someone come over from powerlifting or something like that? Or is it going to be someone doing the whole competition? Now, names that jump out. Nedsmin Ambeskovic, who pulled 1,000 pounds at this competition last year. Jerry Pritchett? I mean,
Jerry in shape is one of the best deadlifters on the planet. I guess he needs to prove he's back in shape. But Jerry, 2016, Jerry was unbelievable. Really, he was very unlucky. But he's been a bit injury prone recently. He's coming back. He looks like he's training again, but we don't know what kind of shape he's in.
It's a big ask as well.
You mentioned Nedsmin there, and I think World's Strongest Man is just around the corner.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. There's a lot of great talent out there. There's a spot available, but that is 11 of the athletes. As always, guys, let us know your thoughts. World's Strongest Man is to come first, so that could dictate a few things.
Yeah.
But looks like an amazing lineup. Let's pray that we get Payman over for this.
Everyone stays healthy and injury free.
Absolutely. It could be the greatest deadlift battle ever.
The show will be available to watch on the Facebook events page on Giants Live. We will include a link closer to the dates, but if you want tickets to go and watch the show live, there's a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and give us a wave.
You're way better than me at that.
I'm not.